I want to thank you for the opportunity to build your website. I've created a website here for your company that is simple, easy to use, and one that is built for expansion later on. So you asked for us to create a database that would track membership for customers as well as for items such as candy and the transactions that needed to go with that. In this particular portion of the database, this is dealing with the items, being able to have items have ingredients, package types, and the like. The item doesn't have to have a package and it doesn't have to have ingredient. Those are optional, but it does allow for it. So this portion of the database deals with the transactions, gives the payment type, the transaction itself, as well as the item that is being bought in the transaction, and then it ties in the customer who's buying the item as well as the employee who's selling the item. In part 3 of this database diagram, you're going to see the customer and the employee. And then there's a personal info table which will store like their addresses. The personal info is actually tied into the membership, because if a customer doesn't need the membership or doesn't want a membership or doesn't want to give out their information, they don't have to when they check out. But if they wanted to add a membership to your store or whatever you have there, they can actually tie that information to the membership, which will then tie into them as a customer when they actually go do their checkout. This portion of the database deals with the membership and keeping track of the memberships for the various customers who come into the store. Personal info is actually tied into the membership so that a customer doesn't have to necessarily give their information if they don't want to, unless they do a membership. So for the data that is entered into the database, you'll see that within the customer table you have different items like the last name, first name, last name, phone number, email address, the membership that it's tied to, and the information you can pull from that. And so you see at the bottom there is a results set of the customer table where you have the information for the customer. And the null values just means that membership doesn't have, or that customer does not have a membership at the time. So what you're going to see here is a way of tracking your memberships with your customers. Within the query, it's going to ask for get the first name, last name, other information like phone number, email address, the membership level, the amount due, the year. And what it does is it goes ahead and joins all that information that we saw in the diagram with the membership to the customer. And as a result, you'll see the set down at the bottom gives the first and last name of the person, the phone number, their email address, do they have a membership that is amount that is due, how long they've been a member, their membership level, the amount owed, and the year that they joined. And in this information page, this is for the ingredients, you'll see that the ingredients are tied into the item. So if the item is like, in the case, if you see in the results set the jelly beans, you'll see that the jelly beans require sugar, water, and flavoring. If you have chocolate, then you're going to need sugar, cocoa, and milk, and it's able to bring in the information that you want based upon the item that you are selling. So within the database, you're able to look at what is called views. Your employees can actually pull up a view, look at the information without actually being able to change data or manipulate data in any way. It's just a way for the employees and yourself to be able to read the data without manipulating the files. This is another view that deals with the transaction information, where you can actually just go into the transaction, look it up without actually damaging the information that's within the view. It's a good way of protecting our data and protecting your data from any changes that are not authorized. So I know within the database you're going to want to add addresses to the personal info for new customers or people who are looking to add a membership. I created a procedure to where you can actually enter the information in, and it will add it to the database. The other great thing about this procedure is that if the address is already within the database, it won't add it and will tell you that the address already exists in the database. Now, every once in a while, a customer will want to have their email address updated. We'll have a store procedure where the new email address can be entered into the customer table. If the customer does not exist, it'll tell you that there's no record or anything that will allow you to update or delete that email address. Sometimes it's necessary to import data from a CSV file, like from Excel, and put it into a table. This particular extraction will allow you to grab something from a CSV file and put it into the customer table. So you can put your customer information in that you have on your Excel sheet and just automatically insert it into the customer table, and this particular process looks for duplicates and does not put duplicate data into a table. The other thing that would be helpful for your business is to be able to see an actual report of the information that is found in the tables, or if it's joined to other tables, and just get the information into a readable format. So in this case, I went ahead and did some very basic transaction items with the customer name, the employee that logged in when the customer bought the item, the transaction number, so on and so forth, in a very readable format, in a way that you would be able to print it off, understand what's being said without it being too complicated.